6 months ago, Victor Von Doom became the Sorcerer Supreme and then vanished behind the closed borders of Latveria. For most people, there's so much going on in the world that Doom's absence isn't a priority, but a few understood that the villain's disappearance was just the calm before the storm, a storm that has already arrived. Today, Dr. Doom begins a global broadcast live from the White House, making the following statement. This morning, leaders from all nations of the earth, kings and queens, warlords and presidents, each swore allegiance to the new Supreme Mage. From this moment on, every nation on earth has become a province of a unified land, a new and glorious unified Latveria. He knows this broadcast may be shocking, but he asks humanity to stay calm in the face of the power shifts that will take place. After all, he's not going to force them into slave labor. No one will be required to build eternal monuments for Doom's glory, and there won't be death squads hunting down his opponents and enemies. No, this time, everything will be different. He claims that in light of his unprecedented power, Doom is humble, and his reign begins with just 2 small decrees. War between nations is prohibited. There will be no more conflict between the provinces of Latveria. Doom calls this period the Pax Victoris, and it is the first gift Doom offers to the world. Meanwhile, we see that Admiral Akhmetov from one of the Arab nations is not too happy with Doom's statement and calls a general to complain about the situation. Doom then gives his second gift to his new subjects. Humanity has been fighting against inequality, suffering without medicine, without knowledge. But from now on, being a Latverian citizen will bring respectable benefits, like universal free health care and top-notch local education all the way through postgraduate and higher levels. At the same time, Admiral Akhmetov and his general discuss an immediate offensive before the other world governments accept this absurd situation and it becomes impossible to defeat Doom. However, it's already too late. Doom knows about all the uprisings happening around the world because all global information passes through his domain. He has sent his Doombots to execute all the rebels in various countries and understands that change is never easy. He assures that he will not punish the provinces for the rebellion of a few, as Doom is merciful, but he reminds everyone that even Doom's mercy has its limits. Doom ends his speech with one last warning. The former leaders will remain in their positions, free to govern as they always have. Their day-to-day lives won't change, except for some significant improvements that are already in place. Everything Doom is doing has the full support of the Earth's leaders. Doom is wisdom, Doom is power, Doom is prosperity, and only Doom can save humanity. Due to the urgent situation, 30 minutes later, Earth's heroes gather at the Baxter Building to discuss the situation. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and other heroes want to understand how things got to this point. Some people welcomed Doom, something Sue Storm thought would be impossible. Spider-Man believes Doom may have mentally controlled Earth's leaders, or maybe they were replaced by Doombots. Doctor Strange thinks Doom may have used magic since he's now the Sorcerer Supreme, but this is quickly dismissed, since if that were the case, the magic would also affect the heroes, and Scarlet Witch detects no magical influence. Thor, impulsive as always, wants to rush into battle and defeat Doom as soon as possible. But Captain Marvel reminds him that Victor always has tricks up his sleeve, and they need to be careful. However, suddenly, Baron Zemo also makes a broadcast to the world using the same transmission Doom used. The villain guarantees that neither he nor Hydra will be ruled by a degenerate mongrel with no roots. In fact, right now, his forces are at the Latverian border, ready to invade and end Doom's ridiculous reign. Zemo and his troops are being watched by Black Widow, who loses contact with the Avengers at the start of the invasion. Seeing this, Tony Stark says the enemy of my enemy is my friend, something Steve Rogers immediately rejects. He would never ally with Hydra. Tony jokes that it was just a joke, but Human Torch, Thor, and Storm believe that if Baron Zemo and his troops were able to invade so easily, The heroes could do the same. With this, everyone agrees that the best thing to do now is respond quickly. Travel to Latveria, find Black Widow, deal with Zemo, deal with Doom, and clean up the mess he's made. The catch is that they can't teleport there because of the shields Doom put in place. But the journey won't be a problem, as Sue Storm designs an invisible ship to take the heroes to the battlefield. During the trip, Spider-Man confides in Human Torch that he's not afraid of heights, but being in an invisible plane with a force field makes him nervous, since if Invisible Woman loses control, they could fall. Johnny jokes with Spider-Man, saying that if any problem arises, he'll just go on fire and save him, making Peter wonder why he and Johnny are friends. A little later, the heroes finally arrive in Latveria, which has been closed off for months. They know they need to be cautious, but Ben Grimm, the Thing, charges ahead without thinking and ends up being stopped by a force field, which was the same one that prevented Black Widow from following Baron Zemo's troops. Even with Captain Marvel, Vision, and Scarlet Witch in the group, it's impossible to break the barrier, since it's magic from the Sorcerer Supreme. It would take weeks for Wanda to create a spell to weaken the barrier. However, at this moment, the heroes detect a new transmission from Baron Zemo to the entire world. Surprisingly, it is revealed that Zemo has also joined Doom's initiative, announcing that he was wrong. Doom is doing what is best for the world, and Hydra will join him. Doom has found a better path, and Hydra will build schools and hospitals under whatever supervision the local authorities deem appropriate to ensure they are built quickly and efficiently. Others will remove landmines from contaminated areas around the world. From now on, these will be Hydra's only priorities. This broadcast leaves the heroes even more confused. They have no idea what's going on and start to think that Doom is using some kind of mind control. Reed Richards tracks the origin of the transmission and discovers it came from a Hydra flying island. So, Carol suggests that they split up. One team should try to find an entrance or a way to break through the barrier, while the other team should head to the Hydra island to find Doom and Zemo. And indeed, it doesn't take long for Zemo to detect the approaching heroes and orders his men to kill them. Captain Marvel, both Captain America's, Storm, Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Human Torch all decide to go to the Hydra Island, and they easily defeat the villains, who have no chance against all these superheroes. The central tower of the structure is completely sealed. There are no windows, and only one door at the bottom, a heavily armored, reinforced, and magically sealed door. However, even so, the surrounding wall is no match for Stark's technology, which he uses to fiercely destroy everything around him, finally coming face to face with Baron Zemo. Captain Marvel quickly grabs the villain by the neck while Sam asks since when Hydra submits to Doom. Steve Rogers goes further, asking what happened on October 1st, 1945. Since the villain doesn't know the answer, this confirms what Captain America deduced. This Zemo is nothing but a Doombot, and Steve simply rips off his head with his shield. That date was when Hydra was founded, and Zemo wouldn't forget it. Now the heroes have a Doombot, and the good news is that Reed Richards knows how to recover the recordings made by the robots. Maybe they can figure out what Doom is doing. And indeed, through the recordings, the Avengers discover that Doom killed the real Baron Zemo. He took the easy route, kill Zemo and replace him with an obedient robot. Now they need to find out if he did the same thing with all the world leaders. Tony Stark says Doom is pretending to have changed, but now they have definitive proof that it's not true. Carol questions this, as the whole world hates Baron Zemo, and his death won't be seen as a loss. But Tony thinks the best thing they can do is give the truth a fair chance. Then, Mr. Fantastic puts Iron Man live for the entire planet, and Tony tells the truth. Doom hasn't changed. He didn't open Baron Zemo's eyes for some glorious humanitarian purpose. Instead, He shows the recording of Doom crushing Zemo's skull with his own hands and replacing him with a puppet robot. In other words, he will kill anyone who stands in his way, just as he always has. But the heroes will deal with it, as they always have. As the broadcast ends, the heroes begin to hear something that sounds like screams. Obviously, the Hydra members are not too happy to find out that their leader has been assassinated. For example, Hydra troops in Europe, who were genuinely working for the new society, rebel against Doom and the heroes when they find out their leader has been killed. They decide that the price for this farce will be paid by the population. One of the soldiers even points his weapon at a woman and her baby, who begs for her life, saying she has nothing to do with it, when suddenly, this soldier is killed by the new hero of the Earth. Yes, Victor Von Doom himself saves the life of the woman and child in a triumphant scene where he rides an imposing dinosaur Dr. Doom. Then, in yet another of his strategic moves, Doom makes another global broadcast while clearing the streets of Hydra presence. He confesses that he lied, but doesn't regret what he did. He killed Zemo, just like months ago he killed Red Skull. These men were despicable and leaders of a vile gang of racists. They were a problem that Earth's mightiest heroes have been trying to solve and have failed at since World War II. But Doom solved it in a single day. Moreover, through a simple lie, he managed to get Hydra to clean landmines and build schools and hospitals. But unfortunately, the Avengers and other heroes couldn't stand it. They destroyed Doom's work out of sheer envy. If they can't save humanity, they'll make sure no one else can. That's when the heroes realized that this was all part of Doom's plan. He knew Zemo would attack and let him in on purpose. He also knew the heroes would reveal the truth, and they played exactly into the villain's hands. In this way, the hero's image is thoroughly tarnished, and Doom continues to discredit them. The heroes ruined Hydra's only chance to be used for good purposes, but Doom guarantees he will clean up the mess left by the heroes. Humans are important to him, and he will do whatever it takes to keep them safe. He ends his speech by repeating that Doom is wisdom, Doom is power, Doom is prosperity. And his plan is going extremely well because after this speech and his actions, some humans are already convinced that only Doom can save them. And that's how Dr. Doom finally won, and the consequences of this triumph will shake the entire Marvel universe. But this story is far from over. What happens next will redefine the fate of heroes and villains in a way that no one could have predicted. So if you want to know how this will unfold and what secrets are still to come, make sure to subscribe to the Geekmaster channel, hit the bell, and stay tuned. The continuation is going to be insane, and you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next adventure.